Hello my beautiful peeps. The Netherlands recently got knocked out from the World Cup after a penalty shootout loss against Morocco. Not the first time it happened, I don't want to talk about it. But anyway, that loss now means Ronald Koeman has officially resigned as the national team manager. Finally, after 3.5 years of no progression, we were holding on for too long. Anyway, he's resigned and there are some names on the table, and I just would like to take this video to go through them and show you what I think of it. Be sure to let me know your thoughts on who needs to be the next Dutch national team manager, especially as an outsider from another country. Who do you think should be the man for the job? Let's go. Alright, and here we have gotten some of the names. First of all, Arne Slot. He would be the dream. Well, why would he be the dream? Look what he's done at Feyenoord. He came in at 2021 when Feyenoord just had their worst season in somewhat like 10 years. He came in on limited budget, sold the star player to Ajax, recruited well, reached the Conference League final in his first season, being the first European final for Feyenoord in 20 years. The season after, in his second season, he immediately won the title, and the third season, if it wasn't for PSV winning every game, he'd have again won the title in a title winning season points wise, but as a small gift still won the cup and managed to make us a regular in the Champions League again, something which I would have never thought it would ever happen again in my life. I think that's enough. But then he went to Liverpool and immediately won his first Premier League title in his first season. Is something you can never write off. There are people saying it was Klopp's team, he was using Klopp's team and thereby maybe it was easier, he didn't have to make any more signings. But you still have to feel, he still felt that pressure, you know, you need to replace Klopp, a club great, a club legend, a club icon. If you then come in and win the title in your first season, you're that guy. Obviously the second season didn't go as expected, sadly got the sack, and now is now free, hence why I think he'd be a great option. And also the reason being is I think his authority, players know what he has achieved, he knows how to work with the players he's gotten, he knows how to get the best out of some players you may not expect it from. Overall, he's just a great option. Everyone in the Netherlands would love it, everyone in the Netherlands appreciates him. We all think still he's a class manager, you don't lose your juice after one season. So Arne Slot, and especially as a Feyenoord fan, I would absolutely love it. And maybe it would give Ajax fans at least a feeling of how it is to have Slot as your national team manager. Doesn't everyone want that? If we're talking about Dutch managers, you know, he is the kind of man you want to represent your country, and at least here people want that. Someone to be proud of, and he can be that guy. And the second one, I haven't seen people talk about much, Mark van Bommel. And the reason I'm saying it is he is a good manager. I mean, he's been obviously manager of PSV a few years ago, where he did pretty good considering what he had in that time. Recently he's been at Antwerp, where he reached Champions League football, if I'm right, won the league title, got that club in a very high position and stable position, and developed them like, you know, no other. He even defeated Barcelona in the Champions League with Antwerp. Of course, a Barcelona team who weren't alright, weren't that good yet, but still, I think that season Barcelona won the league in their own country, so to beat them in the Champions League is still quite an achievement. And I just think tactically he is capable. Tactically he knows his stuff. He's a man that takes no BS. He is definitely someone that players will listen to. He has some authority about him. He has good knowledge of the game. He is vacant. He makes you feel proud for him to represent your country. Like I said, he takes no BS. Players will know him. Players will listen to him. I think he'd be a very good option. I'm gonna put him in, would be quite happy, because he's not on top of my list, but I wouldn't count him out. And the third candidate we're gonna talk about is Erik Ten Hag. Obviously famous for reaching the semi-finals with Ajax in the Champions League in 2019. Won the Eredivisie in basically every season he was in the league with Ajax. And at Manchester United, obviously a chaotic tenure, but still fairly successful with 2 trophies on his name. At Bayer Leverkusen didn't work well, to say the least. Got sacked after 2 games in. He had a chaotic few years, but overall he's a good manager with good vision. If you want someone that can definitely implement the vision of Johan Cruyff to the Dutch national team and wants to play exciting football, he's that guy. Problem being, recently he signed a deal as technical director for FC Twente, and I just don't see him becoming a manager anytime soon, considering he signed a contract for 2 years. I mean, he's not gonna step away. I just don't see it happening. He would be a good option. Definitely, if he was available, I would absolutely take him, but it's just not realistic. And actually the same goes for Peter Bos, because he just signed a new deal. There was contact between him and the KNVB. There was interest from both sides, especially from Bos, which I would absolutely have done something with as the KNVB, but you know, KNVB are a little bit, they're not ambitious enough. Peter Bos recently broke the silence and just signed a new contract with PSV, a new deal which sees him there for 2-3 years longer, and after winning the Eredivisie title 3 years in a row, it's no surprise he's on the shortlist to become Dutch national team manager. But like I said, he's just signed a new deal, he's not available, he's already preparing for pre-season with PSV probably. So the only thing only place I can really put him in is good, but not realistic, because he's simply not available. Now we're gonna go on to a complaint section with 3 names. Just let's not do it, and I'm gonna give my reasonings for it, alright? First of all, Michael Reiziger. This guy is incapable. Jong Oranje, the youth team of the Dutch national team, they did reach the Euro semi-final for under 21s last edition or 2 editions ago. They've been performing under par. Talent, the quality is there. You know, the under 18s literally won the Euros last year. So the talent is there to do something good. But I remember last Euros or a few Euros ago, he had a midfielder, Ezequiel Banzuzi. Alright, talented midfielder. Give him a chance. What does this guy do? He put Divine Ranch, who's a right back, mind you, in midfield earlier, and Anas Salah-Eddin, who's now an international from Morocco, but who's naturally a left back. He put those 2 in midfield before trying Banzuzi. Or it was Valente, I don't know. It was just stupid. It was just so stupid, you could see it wasn't working. I mean, they reached the semi-finals of the tournament, but it was a bit like the Euros with Koeman. Like, we didn't deserve to be there. It didn't really hurt as much. I mean, 20 minutes after Watkins scored the winner, I already thought, you know what, it's sad, but we didn't deserve to be there anyway. This guy is just like Koeman. And in the qualification process for the Euro 2021, he's in the qualification group of Israel. He's beneath Israel. How, with the talent pool that we have, can you manage to be under Israel? Like, come on. So as you probably quite have heard from me, just no. Don't even try. I prefer not to speak. If we want to become another Italy, we need to appoint this guy, but just please don't do it. And the next one I've seen come across, Patrick Kluivert. I'm just gonna be very real with you. Even Indonesians didn't think he was good for the Indonesian national team. With all due respect, that's where Dutch players who have a heritage there and aren't quite good enough to play for the Netherlands, they play there. He's not even good enough for that. He just didn't know what he was doing apparently. So even with that, let's just not do this, because we don't need to look at who is a legend, who has achieved much in Dutch football in the past. We need to look at quality. We just need to be hard man. I can't explain it in English, but we just need to make difficult decisions and not appoint managers based on sentimental value or how they've done in the past, just like we did with Ronald Koeman and Frank de Boer in the past. Doesn't work. Let's just not do it. it won't work. And the last one, I'm not even particularly saying no because of her qualities as a manager, but let's just not start. You know, Sarina Wiegman, obviously probably the best manager in women's football ever, I think. I don't know much about it, but I think she's one of the greatest. She's made the Netherlands, she's European champions, she's made England European champions, reached multiple finals. She's a good manager. But we're not in the stage we should be taking risks with appointing women managers. With all due respect, I'm not saying she's bad, but we shouldn't take those risks, right? She's not experienced in the men's game. She probably needs to do that first to be a candidate for the job. I needed to include her because I saw the name, I saw her. But let's just not start yet. Let her first gain some experience in men's football if she wants to, and if she does well at that, maybe then we can consider it. With respect, no. And the next one I have a little bit of mixed feelings about, and that is Ruud van Nistelrooy, who is obviously already assistant of the national team, and I must say he does come over well. I mean, he has at previous spells at PSV and Leicester. PSV, which he performed relatively well, won the cup. We left right after he felt the club had disrespected him a little bit, and I do think that authority I kind of like. But the reason I'm a bit skeptical is because, you know, obviously his time at Leicester, you know, it's not his fault if you see where Leicester is now. That was not his fault at all. But I don't know about him as a manager. I feel like he's the guy who has some authority, but I don't know if he has the courage to actually show it. He will be able to motivate these players and get them to play nice football, I'm sure of it, but I'm just not quite sure on his capabilities as manager yet. Although he wouldn't be bad, I'm not sure. I wouldn't do it, but I won't be against it. And then we're saving the best for last. I know I've had Arne Slot already, but the last one is Pep Guardiola. And that seems outlandish. You know, that seems outlandish. But Pep Guardiola is free. He has no job anymore. He's left Manchester City after almost 10 years. He's been successful, winning the Champions League, Premier League 7 times or something, winning the Super Cup, winning many domestic trophies, and making Man City the dominant force that they are. Obviously at Barcelona and Bayern, what he did, he influenced football to what it is today, and if that's a positive, for you to decide, but he's influenced the game massively, and he's one of the best managers there's ever been. Pep Guardiola, he has been very open about wanting to coach a national team. In a documentary Forza Koeman in 2021, he did mention, if there's a possibility the Netherlands need a new manager, I will be there. Those are the exact words he said. Because I do also hear the argument a national team always needs a manager who's from that country. But if there's a chance, Pep Guardiola, guy who ideas all come from the philosophy of Johan Cruyff. If he wants to do the job, give him a call, give him whatever he wants. It's a very easy one. Give him the job. Please, just give him the job. If Arne Slot doesn't want, because I do think the KNVB will look for a Dutch manager first, a Dutch candidate, at least try and give Pep Guardiola a call. Please. Because he's not saying he's open to manage a national team side for so many times. He doesn't say that so many times just to joke around, just to fool around. He's serious. I think he does want it, but Pep Guardiola, he would be the absolute dream. Well, and that was it then. The new manager will be announced in the next month, I already think, because the next international break's already in September, so there needs to be a new manager at the wheel by then. So we're gonna find out rather quick. I'm interested. We need to get this right, because if we get it wrong again, we will set us back another few years and we will waste a top generation of players we can do so much more with. There's so much more talent in this national team, in this country. There's just so much more talent in this country to move forward and to perform better and to be more competitive. Because to not have won against a top 25 side in 3.5 years, that's just not who we are. That's just not what we should represent. That's not something we can be proud of. We at least want to enjoy watching our nation again. Be sure to not forget to subscribe. I will be try and make more videos like this, also with Feyenoord, making some tier lists, giving my opinion in rather easy ways like this. So if you don't want to miss that, make sure to subscribe, leave a like, follow my social media wherever you see it in this video. be sure to check it. So let me know in the comments who you think is gonna be the next Dutch national team manager. So thank you for watching and see you in the next video. Bye bye.